Hello everyone. Welcome to the episode of ANAAVARANA, which is specially dedicated to a teacher. Myself, Keerthana J, and I will be interviewing Mrs. Saraswati Vishwanathan Iyer, who is Best Educational Counselor in Mumbai. Mrs. Saraswati Vishwanathan Iyer is one of the best overseas educational counselor in Mumbai for the students who aspire to study in the US or Canada. She started the Gyan Foundation from the living room of her home house in October 1999, and in the last 2 decades, she has nourished and grown it to one of the best overseas educational consulting companies in Mumbai. She is the best educational counselor in Mumbai. Despite the growth, she has ensured that professional responsibility, integrity, and uncompromising the standards of discipline have remained within the organization. She recognizes every student's giftedness and becomes their educational counselor, mentor, guide, and motivator from the time they register till they embark on their journey to study in USA. Before starting the Gyan Foundation, she started teaching in the early 80s, and her passion and dedication to the field of education has been exceptional. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Keerthana. Yes, I am also feeling very privileged to be interviewed by you, and I will do my best, and I hope I really encourage the youth to the best. Thank you.
So, can you tell us where you were born, and would you like to take us down to your childhood memories, ma'am?
Well, I have been born and brought up in Mumbai, and in a very progressive Hindu Brahmin family. My parents, I always tell my people that, I have been fortunate to be born to two intelligent people. They were not very highly educated in those days. My father was an artist and he's an ex-army man. So in his own days, he was a very revolutionary kind of person. So he always wanted his children to be worldly wise rather than being bookish. So right from the age of 8 or I suppose 7 or 8, he used to send me to the bank to, to deposit checks and withdraw money. I was hardly 7 or 8, believe me, nobody can think of that in those days. So, and he wouldn't allow my brothers or anybody to accompany me. He would say that you do it all by yourself. And that, I think, that is the seed of independence. And then my mother on her side always taught us, the value of good academics and honesty and moral ethics. She would often tell us stories of Ramayana, Mahabharata. All the time she used to give us small and big stories, and then she used to, in the evenings, she used to make us recite tables, this so. And then she would keep the cupboard open. She never believed in locking the cupboard. With all her jewels and lot of money, she would keep the cupboard open. And she would tell, and we were 5 of us. I am the only daughter and 4 brothers. And she would say, I dare you to open that cupboard and take the money. I mean, it is so natural to have temptations at that young age, isn't it? But these were some of the strong lessons that they taught us. And secondly, she would always want us to get good marks. Although she never put any effort in teaching us or something, my father used to sit with us, but she would only look at the results. She would always say, okay, if you're not going to perform, you are going to become a bhai auntie. I can't do anything about it.
That's nice.
So that fear somewhere, used to hit us. Not only me, my brothers also, she used to treat them the same way. And with her little, she was very, very wise. She was only an SSC of the whole time, but she told one of my brothers should become a chartered accountant, one of my brothers should become a chemical engineer, and I should become a teacher. I was selected by the railways, I was selected by Air India, I was selected by UPSC, for government jobs. But she refused, and she said that girls should not work in corporates. I mean, that is her way of looking at it. And she said that I am very talkative, I am very brilliant, so she should become a teacher. That's what she shaped my life. And and though these were the fundamentals that were laid, and then every day night, she would conduct kind of debates between the siblings, and she would pose a question, and then it was rewards and punishment, so that kind of thing she used to do. So I sincerely believe that whatever we are today, it is absolutely their upbringing. We never forgot one bit of what was taught there. And it came to us naturally. It was never taught to us, it came to us naturally. And that's how, so she actually wanted. And in fact, I was very keen on going to going to office with a bag and all that, but she never allowed me. In fact, I was selected by a bank, and I wanted to join that bank. But it so happened that when I went for the interview, one of the panelists in the bank was a panelist in a school as well, in a local school. So he looked at me and he said, "See, I don't mind giving you this bank job, and but according to me, you are a born teacher," he said. So so my dreams of entering the corporate got sealed forever. And when I came home and told my mother about it, she said, "See, I told you should become a teacher." So that's how I became a teacher at the age of 18. So that is how the journey started. And uh, and then of course I went on to take many degrees in history and economics, and after that then I got trained as a teacher and entered the teaching fraternity royally.
That's nice, ma'am. So how did it start? How did the teaching career start, ma'am?
So as I said, one day I was returning home from I was doing my first year or something. I was returning home, and I happened to meet one of my teachers on the road. So I just wished him, "Good afternoon, sir." And he said he had also observed me, and I didn't know that I was so powerful. I didn't know that I had it in me. So I just wished him, and he said, "See, what are you doing?" I said, "I am doing my first year, sir." Then he said, "Okay, he was my dad's friend as well." So he went and he gave me a number, and he told me, "Please go and ask your daddy to call me." I was worried. I said, "What did I do? Did he see me doing something wrong? And why is he asking my father to call him?" So then I went and gave it to my father, and he said, "Sundaram, I want your daughter to come and teach. I have joined another school as a principal, and there is a vacancy in the primary section, and I want your daughter to join."
That's
So
nice.
that is how my career began. So, and the next day I went to school. I thought he will just tell me something and send me back. But he was waiting for me, and he gave me the register of the class, and he said, "You are the class teacher of third B." I was one. I said, "Sir, but I don't know ABC of teaching. I don't know anything." He said, "You talk so well and you are a brilliant girl. I know that for a fact. So other things I will teach you. You go to the class." That's how my career began, honestly, Prarthana.
Okay, ma'am. So you were a teacher at Mahila Samiti School, as
Yeah,
I've heard that, and you had a very big send off while you were leaving the school. So can you tell us about the experience or the emotions you had while leaving that school?
I think I joined Mahila Samiti School because again I met that principal also in a train. I don't know, somehow it just happened that way. People may sometimes feel that, she's lying about it. But then that is the truth of life. I have never presented my resume to anybody till today. That's why when yesterday you asked me that biodata, I didn't have one, honestly. So you know what? So I was one day traveling in a train, and the principal of Mahila Samiti School, Mrs. Koili, she's actually my mentor. So she met me one day, and she said she just became friendly. She was a very nice woman. And I think, only few people in this world are made that way. So somehow she took a liking for me. I was maybe good looking or whatever, what impressed her, I don't know. But she told me, what are you doing? So at that time I was on a break. I was not working anywhere. I said, I was a teacher, but I've taken a break because I have a baby now. So she said, then why don't you come and join me? I like you very much, and you're very talkative. Communication skills are excellent. I like you very much. I said, then she asked me, have you taught before? I said, yes, ma'am. For 2 years, 2, 3 years, I have taught already. Then she said, then use that experience and come and see me tomorrow in my school. And then I go there and I see that, this madam has already called the committee member to interview me. I was shocked. I said, I am not even serious about it. And she is already interviewing me. And my parents just said, at that time I was living with my parents because my husband was traveling. So my father said, just go and check it out, go and see what is happening. You never know, things happen for a reason. So I went there and they took a liking, and of course they took the formal interview, and I got selected. Again, they put me in fifth standard, sixth standard. They asked me to teach fourth, fifth, and sixth standard. I didn't have my training until then. I was not trained teacher. I had my bachelor's degree and I was doing my master's. I didn't even have my, B.Ed training or D.Ed training. Nothing I had. So they couldn't give me higher classes. So they told me to go and teach in fourth, fifth, and sixth. That is where I think I met this girl, Preeti, no? Priya. I think Priya was in fifth standard or fourth standard. So then, of course, many batches before that I had taught, and I worked in that school for the next 8 years. I think from 83 to 91 or 92 I was there. So then I had to go to the US because we got the green card. So I had to leave the school. That's when this whole school was upset about my
Yeah,
resignation.
she told me about that.
I didn't know I didn't know that I was so famous and I was so adored by the students. Of course, I used to, all the teachers used to complain about me that, I am taking their time as well. So, one period, the next period, some other teacher used to have their, they used to have the next 45 minutes, isn't it? So I used to eat away some 15 minutes from there. So they used to wait out. For some time, they told me that, Saraswati, don't do this. We will fall back in our, portion and all that. Then the complaint went to the headmistress herself that, and that's because the students wouldn't leave me. They would say, ma'am, continue and all. But I never knew that they loved me so much. And believe me, I was shocked at the same time. I had a tear in my eyes to see that the whole school is going to miss me. All the children crying and wailing. I don't know how I left them and came out from that school. It's etched in my memory. And these children, 3-4 years back, I went for the centenary celebration or something like that to Mahila Samiti. My God, the boys and the girls, they actually embarrassed me. Some of them even went on to say that, ma'am, I was in love with you and all that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we do have childhood, even I remember I used to love my social studies teacher. So it's very natural to, when somebody is very My social studies teacher, her name was Radha, I remember. Even today, I have her pleasant face in front of me. I think somewhere becoming a teacher, she has had a role because I used to love her. And she used to come to our class in the afternoons, after lunch, post lunch, used to be geography, history. She taught us from 5th standard to 10th standard. And and in the afternoon, our class faced, wherever she was standing. So there used to be a window, and in the afternoons, the evening sun used to fall on her face. Believe me, I never cared to listen to what she was saying. I used to look at her beautiful eyes, which were shining, her hair, which was shining in the sunlight. So somewhere, you fall in love with some teachers for whatever reasons. So I think Priya is also one of such a crazy girl. So in fact, the whole class was like that. And very nice children, very, very nice children. Anyway, I am blessed, and I have always, even today, see, even in this counseling, I have been here for 20 years now. But believe me, I still carry that charishma, and students come only by word of mouth. I don't advertise, I don't do any marketing activities, because I'm genuine, and and I care for them. When they get that feeling, I think the work is done. And even today, so unless you like a person, you're not going to refer him or her to another person, right? So that is exactly what is continuing even today.
So,
It's God's grace that you kind of have such uh, popularity, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
okay, so you started the Gyan Foundation, ma'am. So can you tell us more details about it and what inspired you to start something like this?
So, after leaving Mahila Samiti, I went to US for in 1991, 92, 93. So there, being a teacher, I wanted to get back to teaching. So, but what I found out was that with my qualifications at that time, I already had an MA, I had finished my teacher's training, everything. But then they did not allow me to teach because they wanted me to do more courses, which is, as per their requirements. So I just thought, it's not, I don't have any more flair to learn in another 2 years and all that. So I was just doing a lot of homework. My husband was working, and then I met a friend who actually did this from the comfort of his home in the US. Okay. So I got the inspiration from him. I used to see how he was working, and what he was trying to do. I just took interest. Somewhere I got interested in what he was doing. And so I kept it in my mind, and I started doing my own research about universities, and I tried to understand what is that. My son was also schooling. So I kind of got the opportunity to understand how it is different from what we are doing in India, because I've been a teacher in India. So that's where the inspiration came up. So then I think I came back in 94, and I thought I will not work anymore. That's when I did a lot of home. Of course, after that also, I came back and joined as a principal in another school here in Bhandup, in Mumbai. And then while I was working, I really wanted to be independent. So this thought of starting this Gyan Foundation took uh, roots. So I first started writing to the universities. 2 3 years I did a lot of research to find out how this really works. I didn't know anything about it. And then I did a small course in counseling. So I formally, from TISS, Tata Institute. So then I moved into this counseling. In 99 October, we established the Gyan Foundation in Mumbai. And we had a lot of people. We had invited the US Consul General. We had invited some dignitaries from the universities. Some of them came also. And then that's how we launched ourselves in Mumbai. And in the, I think in 2000, we sent the first batch. So it's yearly once we actually, we have to prepare the applications, we have to guide the students and hand hold them. Suppose you want to go to the US, it's a big thing, right? To figure out which course, which school, whether the fees is suitable for you, whether that climate is suitable for you, how safe it is for you. So many things we have to consider, right? So I did my homework, and then then these professors, these admission directors, they all helped me to prepare the first batch. So I sent the first batch in the year 2000, 2000 August. So they have intakes, which is the August intake, which is called the fall intake, and they have another intake in January, which is called the spring intake. So I sent the first batch in fall of 2000. Okay, and some 40 students went that year, and that was the beginning. And from then on, there was no looking back. I only learned more and more. And today I send about 300 students or 400 students every year between the two batches. Yeah.
So, so you were passionate about teaching also. So, which age group do you enjoy teaching more, ma'am? So, which age group do you enjoy teaching more, and previously which you had enjoyed the most? Can you share some of it, ma'am?
See, now it's not so much of teaching. Now I don't teach anymore. However, just for fun and for, to keep up my teaching things, I just take some English lessons for my students because they have to appear for the GRE, TOEFL and all, which involves a lot of English. So I do take some classes, but now I'm not into teaching. However, previously when I was given the sixth standard, fifth standard and all, I think I loved that so much because they are all innocent children. They're full of love, and that was definite. And then there was so much of creativity. When you teach, you have to be so creative, and I used to pose them questions, and so the way they used to handle it, we used to have debates in the class. All those was really fun. And I used to, spend a lot of time in things which are beyond the curriculum also. I used to tell them wonderful stories, all ethics, moral stories. And even if I punished them, they really didn't mind. That was an innocent group. And I felt that you could actually shape them up the way you want. And now I am handling the more senior students like you. Now the students who come to me are in the age group of 21 to 25, 26. Okay. So these are different kinds. They are also very, very good children. I mean, I enjoy with them because again, they are my students. I am their mentor, right? Now it's a mentor position, not a teacher as such. But the way they are focused, today's children are so focused, today's children are so ambitious. So in fact, people tell me that they learn a lot from me, but the truth is that I learn a lot from you guys, because I always wonder that when I was your age, I was not so serious about life. I was, of course, ambitious. I was very ambitious, but I was not so serious the way the boys and girls are now. I see them and I am amazed. And the way, actually, what I do, I also spend some time conversing with them beyond what work they come to do. I talk to them. So they come up with fantastic, information. Actually, I learn from them. Even parents, I meet a lot of wonderful parents, all who are doing well in their own areas of work. And I learn a lot from them. I mean, each one of them teach me a few things and leave my office. So both ways, I think it's wonderful. The only age group that I am scared of is that under 5. I dare not enter that class, honestly. Yeah, I've always had that scare for them because they don't reason out anything, they just cry. So I am very scared of them.
Okay, that is nice. So, as a counselor, a guide, a mentor, and a motivator, how do you feel about being all of them at the same time, ma'am? And how important is it for a student in his or her development?
I tell you, see, I can't thank God enough because He's given me such a position in life where I kind of change their life, So, uh, well, I don't want to take credit for everything, but at the same time, I really feel that a mentor is definitely necessary. You know what? Uh, See, if I hear you, if you keep singing, and there's no one to tell you that you really sing well, that talent will go waste, isn't it? So I think, and I have had this experience. People, generally, children, when they come, you are after all, only 21, 22. So at this age, it is not possible to be so smart that you know everything under the sun. But if someone senior tells you that you can do this, so that motivates you, then you kind of get boosted, your energy gets boosted, and you feel, well, Saraswati said this to me. Oh, that means something is there in me. I know, when I just finished telling you about that bank, that trustee who told me that, I think you are a born teacher. So that hit me like a nail in my head. My mother kept telling me all the time that, you are a born teacher. I don't know why I feel that you will be successful if you become a teacher, and then you will touch so many lives, Saraswati. Why do you want to go to office? And you know and then, when you really have a family, your children will suffer because you are not around. A mother is required. That was her way of looking at things. So, when he said that you are a born teacher, so it hit me like a nail. So I think a mentor is definitely required for. And I have seen in my career, as so many students come to me thinking that, it's not possible at all, but let me try because her friend went, her friend told, or her relative told. So she comes to me or he comes to me and says, ma'am, is it possible? I can tell them that, Array, you are so good that it's not just possible, you will also get funds. You getting me? So that is amazing. That actually I can see that girl or boy actually going red on the face because they become emotional because they didn't know that they have it. You get me? So they always say, when you know that he doesn't know, tell him. When you know that he knows, leave him. Getting me? So when somebody knows, when somebody doesn't know that he knows many things, tell him. So I am that person who tells him that. So it changes things. So many children who are so talented, but they don't know how to go about a mentor like me. But you have to be very honest. I am a very honest teacher. So that makes the difference. So when a very honest person tells you, that child becomes more confident and he moves forward. So there are instances where the child did not have money, the family is very poor, but finally they are able to go. And once they go to the other side and they go to a good school, so what I do, I select good students and I make things happen for them. You understand? And surely I see that they go. Once they go, it is like lighting a lamp in the family. So the whole family brightens up, the whole family changes in terms of economical status, and the child himself becomes, so good in his career. So I mean, that is like, I must have done it for at least 10,000, 12,000 students till now. Just career. I mean, sending them abroad. I must have sent at least 10, 12,000 students so far. And then thousands of students I have taught, like Priya and these people. So they still remember. Somewhere they must have remembered what I taught them also.
Yeah.
So, having a mentor is definitely, important, and playing your role well. So I actually count my words when I speak, because what I speak affects the student positively or negatively. I can't use any negative things also.
Yeah.
So I have to be very careful about what I speak, because the child is listening, that student is listening. Even when parents come and say, ma'am, isko itna hi marks mila. So I support the student and I say, आप इतना मार्क्स लेके आके बताओ, फिर बात करो. You understand? So that when the father tries to put down the student, I support the student. So that is where a mentor really helps, because everyone gives you food. See, my mother says, in the on the day of Janmashtami, everybody makes a lot of sweetmeats for Krishna, no? So my mother would always say that, everyone gives him makhan, poha, and all that, shidai and murk and all that. But nobody gives him water, it seems. He's a baby, he needs water, right? So my mother would keep water for him. So in the same way, a child knows many things, but what he needs is somebody telling him, you can do it. You get me? So that is the role I play. And of course, I give them the sense of direction, because I know a lot in this field. Now I have hundreds of friends in these universities. So, so I tell them, this is the right thing for you. 1 second, 1 second. Yeah. So that's how, a mentor plays a very big role, uh, in shaping up your life. And the best thing is, uh, they never forget a good mentor. I think it is the most gratifying field you can ever be in. And the best part of it is that you don't have to learn anything to teach, because you're doing it absolutely naturally. You only have to prepare the lessons that you're going to take in the class. Other things are all in place. So you can teach that to your children also. You can teach it to other children also. And you can be cool. Yeah, I'm so cool. I'm not stressed out ever. I don't take too much of pressure. So you can actually have your life, absolutely normal. So you don't have to prepare as such anything. So in my life, I don't prepare too many things. I just whatever lessons I have to take, I prepare for those things. That's all. Other things are all natural. No late sitting. Even if it is late sitting, I can adjust my. So timings are so important. You can take care of your home, you can take care of your children, you can take care of others' children, and still be doing a noble job. That's a beautiful thing of this teaching. So I love what I'm doing, and I'm cool. I don't lose my temper. Being with children has added one more thing. I don't know whether I look young or old, but at heart, I'm very young.
You don't look sorry, old ma'am. You look very young, as you told.
Huh?
Okay. Now you told you are actually young. See, there's no change in that.
Absolutely.
Thinking wise as well as the way you talk. It's so
Yeah.
inspiring actually. Okay. So
Yeah.
how does this
So you actually have to work towards it. You know, you have to even on your own, you have to develop yourself every day, keep your interests on, never be happy with what you have. Once that complacency sets in, you're gone. You're gone. So every day, even today, I read before I go to sleep. So I read a lot. Everything, whether it is about music, culture, history, science, everything. And I don't get into this rubbish about how many people died and how many people are infected with coronavirus, because it is negativity. You know, my reading is not going to change anything. So first I was worried. I was a little shocked because of what is happening around. But then I managed my spirits and spent some time, you know, in reading and doing all positive things. I don't spend time in any negativity, and I do all my household chores. So that keeps me, on and keeps me happy through the day.
occupied? Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
actually, how does this counseling work then? Is it a course for few months or something like that?
So as I said before, the intakes are in September. Intakes are for September and for January. So suppose you want to go for 21 September. Okay. Then you have to enroll with me this September. So today, see, as I am talking to you, so many phones are ringing. That's because all these clients are calling. Okay. So that's why. And so what we do is I enroll them with me. And in the meantime, they study for their GRE, TOEFL. They have to give some standardized exams depending on the course that they are going for. So those who are going for masters in engineering and sciences, they have to give GRE and TOEFL. Those who are going for, uh, you know, um, management courses, they have to give GMAT. Like that, exams are there. So they have to prepare for those exams. Then I take them in, and we actually handhold the student right from this time for 1 year till they really get their visas and fly off. So this involves helping them figure out the right kind of program for themselves, the right kind of school. Meaning, there are, if you take computer science as a program, what are you studying?
I just completed my BCom graduation.
Okay. So what, suppose you come to me, then I'll tell you what are options are there. Then, finding out the right. So if you do a BCom, you can get into management also, you can get into finance also, you can get into business analytics also. So what is best suitable for you, I will guide you first. Then I'll give you schools that you can apply. Then you do your homework, find out from your friends, relatives, what they did, how, and then tally things and come back to me. Then I help you, apply to these schools. Okay. So application is there, big process. So for that, there is a lot of paperwork to be done, that transcripts have to be collected, the recommendation letters have to be collected, all this and more. I do only for two countries, USA and Canada. I don't do any other country. So I do only two countries. In Canada, you need only IELTS. You don't need the GRE and all, but your ACADS have to be very high. In US, you have more options. If you are slightly low in your ACADS or you're slightly low in your GRE, you still can make it to one of those schools, So I keep them the option of these two countries. And then once the application is done, I help the parents with how to prepare the finances, how to, make those papers as per the requirement of the school. And then once that is sent, then the student receives what is called an admission letter, come the visa document. So that student has to take it for the visa. So then I prepare the final financial papers for the visa, again with the help of the parents. And then I run mocks with the student, and we conduct mock interviews, and then the student goes for his visa. Once the visa is done, then housing, insurances, foreign exchange, and all those things, ticketing. And we put them to the students who are there. Every batch has a senior batch, no? So I put them, so the entire gamut of activities that goes into it is covered with with the Gyan Foundation. So I have a few assistants in my office to help me. And then we also have immigration. Suppose somebody wants to go for, permanent residence or visa. So that is a big thing happening nowadays, no? So my son is an immigration lawyer. So he takes care of that. Yeah.
So that was nice
Yeah.
one. That was very helpful actually. So,
Sure. Sure.
can you tell us some tips that a good teacher should have in understanding the students? Not only a teacher, a mentor, in understanding the students and guide them in the right direction. Some tips.
See, I think one word is very true. Today, nobody tries to become a teacher because, they feel that it's a paying job and you only have to work half day, and, you can come home and take care of it. But the basic, I really am saddened to see that there are not many good teachers left. Very few. I think the first quality of a good teacher is to actually feel for the student. So if you ask me what tips, I think you should first introspect and figure out whether you are a pro student. You understand? So you have to be pro student. So some and sensitivity. You have to be very sensitive. You are not a teacher just to go to the class and finish your classwork and homework and write a few things on the board and come out. So you have to give them life lessons more than these textual lessons. They will do it themselves. You have to give them life lessons. If you're capable of that, then become a teacher. If you really have the time to dedicate yourself for that cause, then take it up. Otherwise, you better go to some corporates and spend few hours and come back home, because you don't have to attach your heart and mind there. Here, you must remember that you're handling, lives. Who are the future citizens? So I think this is where, and I was absolutely involved. Even today, I'm absolutely involved. Even if an inquiry comes, I still, and my memory is also good. So I remember that boy's name. I call him by his name. So he feels very wanted. He gets that sense of belonging. So this is very, very necessary to become a good teacher. I think that is so important.
So you've provided us with a lot of information, ma'am, and that is very helpful, I think. So thank you for spending your valuable time in spite of your busy schedule and for the interview. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.